September 15th, 2025, a Sunday afternoon in Chicago's South Side. Brianna Washington stood behind the counter of Quick Stop Convenience, watching the street through the store's front window. She had worked here for 3 years. The job paid her bills, nothing more, nothing less. The bell above the door rang. A man walked in fast, too fast. Brianna looked up from her phone. The man wore a black hoodie, pulled low over his face. His breathing came hard and quick. Sweat ran down his neck, despite the cool September air. "Can I help you?" Brianna asked. The man didn't answer. He walked straight to the back of the store. His head kept turning toward the windows, checking, always checking. Brianna's stomach tightened. She had seen this before. Someone running. Someone scared. In this neighborhood, you learn to read the signs. This man was in trouble. Through the window, she saw 2 police cars pull up outside. No sirens, no lights, just a quiet stop. 4 officers got out. They looked at the store. They looked at each other. Then they started walking toward the entrance. The man in the hoodie crouched behind a shelf near the beer cooler. His eyes met Brianna's, wide eyes, desperate eyes. He put one finger to his lips. A silent plea. Brianna had seconds to decide. The officers pushed through the door. The lead cop was tall with a gray mustache. His badge read Sergeant Mills. He looked around the store with sharp, practiced eyes. "Afternoon, miss," Mills said. "We're looking for someone. Male, black, about 6 feet, wearing a black hoodie. Seen anyone like that come through here?" Brianna's heart pounded. The man was right there, 20 feet away. Behind the shelf. The officers couldn't see him from their angle, but one step to the left, and they would spot him. She thought about her daughter. Keisha was 7 years old, in 2nd grade, living with Brianna's mother across town. Brianna sent money home every week. This job was everything. But something in that man's eyes stopped her from pointing. Raw fear, the kind that made you human before anything else. "No officer," Brianna said. Her voice stayed steady. "Been quiet all afternoon, just me here." Sergeant Mills studied her face. Brianna held his gaze. She had learned long ago that looking away made you look guilty. You stare straight back, you don't blink. "Mind if we look around?" Mills asked. "Go ahead," Brianna said. This was it. They would find him. They would arrest him. They would arrest her too for lying to police. She would lose everything. The officers spread out. One walked toward the back, toward the beer cooler, toward the shelf. Brianna's mind raced. "Hey, officer!" she called out. "Before you go back there, the cooler door is broken. Been leaking all day, floor's real slippery. Don't want anyone getting hurt." The officer near the back stopped. He looked down at the floor. It was dry, but he hesitated. "Actually," Sergeant Mills said, checking his radio, "we need to move. Got another call coming in. Shots fired 2 blocks over." The officers regrouped at the door. Mills looked at Brianna one more time. "You see anything, you call us. Understand?" "Yes, sir," Brianna said. The police cars pulled away. Brianna watched them disappear down the street. Her hands were shaking now. The adrenaline hit her all at once. The man in the hoodie stood up slowly. He pulled back his hood. Brianna saw his face for the first time. He looked young, maybe 30. Tattoos covered his neck, a teardrop under his left eye, 3 dots on his right hand, gang marks. She knew what they meant. "You didn't have to do that," the man said. "I know," Brianna replied. "I'm Cobra," he said. Brianna had heard that name before. Everyone in Southside knew it. Cobra ran with the Gangster disciples. He was an OG, original gangster, high up in the crew. The kind of man who made decisions that changed lives. "I don't want to know your name," Brianna said, "and I don't want to know your business. You need to leave now." Cobra nodded. He walked to the door. Then he stopped and turned back. "What's your name?" he asked. Brianna didn't answer. "I owe you," Cobra said. "That means something where I'm from." "You don't owe me nothing," Brianna said. "Just go." Cobra left. The bell rang again. The store was quiet. Brianna sat down on the stool behind the counter. Her legs felt weak. What had she just done? She had lied to police. She had helped a criminal escape, a gangster, a member of one of Chicago's most dangerous crews. But in that moment, she hadn't seen a criminal. She had seen a scared man, and she had made a choice. The rest of her shift passed slowly. Every car that drove by made her jump. Every customer that walked in made her nervous. She kept expecting the police to come back, to arrest her, to end everything. But nothing happened. At 9 o'clock, her replacement arrived. Marcus was a college kid who worked nights. He was always on his phone, watching TikTok videos with his AirPods in. "Quiet day?" Marcus asked. "Yeah," Brianna said. "Real quiet." She grabbed her bag and walked out to her car. A used Honda Civic she had bought 2 years ago. The payment ate up a quarter of her paycheck every month. But it was hers. Before we get deeper into this confrontation that happened just last month, and trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. Where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments. Have you witnessed someone making an impossible choice like Brianna? Share below. Hit subscribe and the bell for more real street stories from 2024 and 2025. Now back to when Brianna's simple choice changed everything. Brianna drove home to her small apartment in Englewood. 1 bedroom, cramped kitchen, but it was clean. It was safe. It was away from the worst blocks. She made dinner. Instant ramen with an egg. She sat on her couch and turned on the TV. The news was talking about gang violence, another shooting on the west side, 2 dead. The reporter said police were cracking down, making arrests, cleaning up the streets. Brianna turned off the TV. She tried to sleep, but her mind kept going back to the store, to Cobra's face, to her lie. She had helped him, but why? What made her protect a stranger, a criminal? Maybe it was because she understood running. She had run from her own problems. An abusive boyfriend when Keisha was 2. A drug-addicted mother when she was 16. Sometimes running was the only choice you had. Or maybe it was simpler. Maybe she just didn't want to be the reason someone got caught. The reason someone went to prison. The reason a life ended. Whatever the reason, it was done. And as she finally drifted off to sleep, Brianna told herself it was over. She would never see Cobra again. Life would go back to normal. She was wrong. September 16th, 2025, Monday morning. Brianna woke up at 6 a.m. She showered, dressed, and made coffee. She checked her phone. Messages from her mother about Keisha. Her daughter was doing well in school, making friends, happy. That was all that mattered. Brianna left for work at 7:30. The morning shift started at 8. The drive took 20 minutes through streets she knew by heart. Past the church on 63rd, past the corner store that sold loose cigarettes, past the park where kids played basketball. She pulled into the parking lot behind Quick Stop at 7:55. 3 cars were already there. That was strange. Usually she was the first one. She got out and walked toward the store's back entrance. That's when she saw them. Police cars. Everywhere. Not 3 or 4. Not 10 or 20. Hundreds. They lined the street in front of the store. They filled the parking lot. They blocked every exit. Officers stood in groups, talking on radios, checking equipment. Brianna froze. Her keys slipped from her hand and hit the pavement with a metallic clink. This was about yesterday, about Cobra. They knew, they had figured it out. A female officer approached her. Young, maybe 25. Her uniform was crisp and new. "Ma'am, you need to step back," the officer said. "This area is restricted." "I work here," Brianna said. Her voice came out as a whisper. The officer spoke into her radio. "I've got an employee at the back entrance." Within seconds, 3 more officers surrounded Brianna. One of them was Sergeant Mills from yesterday. "Miss Washington," Mills said. He knew her name now. "We need to talk." They took her to a patrol car, not inside, just next to it. Mills stood in front of her. 2 other officers flanked her sides. The morning sun was bright, too bright. It hurt her eyes. "You lied to me yesterday," Mills said. "The man we were looking for, he was in your store." Brianna's throat went dry. "I don't know what—" "We have security footage from across the street," Mills interrupted. "A traffic camera." We saw him enter. We never saw him leave through the front, which means he was inside the whole time we were there." Brianna said nothing. What could she say? They had proof. "Do you know who you helped?" Mills asked. "Do you know who Cobra is?" "I heard the name," Brianna admitted. "Cobra's real name is Marcus Coleman," Mills said. "He's 32 years old. He's been with the Gangster disciples since he was 14. Started as a lookout, worked his way up. Now he's one of their top earners." Mills pulled out his phone. He showed Brianna a photo, Cobra's mugshot, but also other pictures, crime scene photos, bodies, blood. "These are people Cobra killed," Mills said. "Or ordered killed. We've linked him to 12 murders. 12! And those are just the ones we know about." Brianna felt sick. She turned away from the phone. "We've been trying to catch him for 3 years," Mills continued. "Yesterday was our best chance. We had intel he was in your area. We almost had him, and you helped him escape." "I didn't know," Brianna said. "I just saw a scared man." "He's not a man," Mills said. "He's a killer. And now, because of you, he's still out there." The weight of his words crushed her. 12 people. 12 families destroyed. And she had protected the person responsible. "What happens now?" Brianna asked. Mills studied her for a long moment. "That depends on you. We can charge you with obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting. You could go to prison. Your daughter would go into the system." Brianna's heart stopped. "No, please, she's only 7. "Then you help us," Mills said. "Cobra owes you, right? He said it himself. We have audio from your security system. You help us get to him." "I don't know where he is," Brianna said. "I don't know anything about him." "But he knows you," Mills said. "Men like Cobra, they pay their debts. He'll come back. And when he does, you'll contact us immediately." Mills handed her a card with a phone number. "You're not under arrest," he said. "Yet, but you're now part of an active investigation. You don't talk to anyone about this. You don't warn anyone. You just wait. Understand?" Brianna took the card. Her hands were still shaking. "Can I go to work?" she asked. Mills nodded. "We're done here, but remember, we're watching every move, every call, everything." The officers dispersed. The patrol cars started leaving. Within 15 minutes, the street looked normal again. Like nothing had happened, but everything had changed. Brianna walked into the store. Her manager, Mr. Patel, was inside. He looked stressed, angry. "Police shut us down for 2 hours," he said. 2 hours of lost business. "What is happening, Brianna? They asked about you, about yesterday." "I don't know," Brianna lied. She was getting good at lying now. Mr. Patel wasn't convinced, but he let it go. He needed her. Finding good workers in this neighborhood was hard. The day dragged on. Every customer who walked in made Brianna nervous. Every phone call made her jump. She kept expecting Cobra to appear, or the police to come back and arrest her. But the store stayed quiet. Normal, like yesterday, never happened. Brianna got off work at 5 p.m. She drove home through rush hour traffic. Her mind raced the whole time. What had she gotten herself into? Why had she helped him? Why hadn't she just told the truth? She parked outside her apartment building. As she walked to her door, she noticed something. A car she didn't recognize. A black Charger with tinted windows, parked across the street, engine running. Her stomach dropped. Were they watching her already? Was it police or something worse? She rushed inside and locked the door. She closed all the curtains. She sat on her couch in the dark and tried to calm down. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You did good yesterday, I don't forget." It was him, Cobra. He had her number somehow. Another text came through. "They came after you today. I know, I'm sorry. That's on me." Brianna stared at the screen. How did he know about the police? Was he watching her too? A third text. "Stay strong. This will pass. You're safe." Brianna wanted to throw the phone across the room. Safe? Nothing about this was safe. She was trapped between the police and a gangster, between doing what was right and protecting herself. She didn't respond to the texts. She deleted them. Then she sat in the dark and cried for the first time in years. What had she done? And how would she survive what came next? September 17th, 2025, Tuesday morning. Brianna barely slept. Every sound in her apartment building made her jump. Every car door, every voice in the hallway. She kept thinking about those text messages, about Cobra watching her somehow. She called in sick to work. Mr. Patel wasn't happy, but she didn't care. She couldn't go back there. Not yet. Not while everything was falling apart. Instead, she drove across town to her mother's house. She needed to see Keisha, to hold her daughter, to remember why she had to keep fighting. Her mother, Dorothy, lived in a small house in Auburn, Gresham. The neighborhood was better than Englewood. Quieter, fewer shootings, better schools. Brianna knocked on the door. Dorothy answered wearing her church clothes. She always dressed nice, even on weekdays. "You look terrible," Dorothy said. "Come inside." Keisha ran to the door when she heard her mother's voice. "Mama!" The little girl wrapped her arms around Brianna's waist. Brianna hugged her tight, too tight. Keisha squirmed. "Mama, you're squishing me." Keisha laughed. "Sorry, baby," Brianna said. She let go but kept her hands on her daughter's shoulders. Dorothy made coffee. The three of them sat in the small living room. Keisha showed Brianna her homework, math problems, reading assignments, a drawing of their family. "That's me, that's you, and that's Grandma," Keisha explained, pointing at stick figures. Brianna's eyes watered. This was real. This mattered, not gangsters, not police. Just this little girl and her future. After Keisha went back to her room to play, Dorothy turned to Brianna. "What's wrong?" Dorothy asked. "And don't say nothing. I raised you. I know when something's eating at you." Brianna wanted to tell her everything. About Cobra, about the police, about the impossible choice she had made. But she couldn't. Mills had warned her. No talking to anyone. "Just work stress," Brianna said. "Money's tight." Dorothy didn't believe her, but she didn't push. They had both learned over the years that some things were better left unsaid. Brianna stayed for lunch. They ate sandwiches and watched Keisha play in the backyard. For a few hours, life felt normal again. But at 3 p.m., her phone buzzed. Another text from the unknown number. "Check your car." "Backseat, gift." Brianna's blood ran cold. He had been to her car. While she was inside, she excused herself and walked out to the Honda. She looked in the back seat through the window. There was a bag, a shopping bag from Whole Foods. She unlocked the car slowly. Her hands shook as she reached for the bag. Inside was cash, stacks of $100 bills. She did a quick count. $10,000. A note was tucked between the bills. "For helping me, for the trouble I caused. You keep your mouth shut. This is just the start. You talk, you lose everything. Choose smart." This wasn't a gift. It was a payment and a threat. Brianna shoved the bag under the driver's seat. She looked around. Was Cobra watching right now? Were the police? She felt eyes everywhere. She went back inside and told her mother she had to leave. Work called her in after all. Another lie. The drive home was a blur. Brianna couldn't think straight. $10,000. That was more money than she had ever held at once. That was 4 months of rent. That was Keisha's school supplies for the next 3 years. That was breathing room. But it was blood money, drug money, gang money. And if the police found it, she would go to prison. She got home and brought the bag inside. She hid it in the back of her closet under old clothes. Then she sat on her bed and stared at the wall. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was Mills, the sergeant. "Need to meet tomorrow, 10 a.m. Don't be late." She didn't respond. What would she tell him? That Cobra was texting her? That he knew where she lived? That he had left money in her car? If she told Mills, she would become a witness, a snitch. And snitches didn't last long in South Side. Everyone knew that. Your car would get shot up. Your apartment would get burned. Your family would get hurt. But if she didn't tell Mills, she was protecting a killer. 12 murders. 12 families. And she would be part of his crew now, whether she wanted to be or not. That night, Brianna tried to sleep, but couldn't. She got up at 2 a.m. and walked to her closet. She pulled out the bag of money. She counted it again, 10,000 exactly. She thought about her daughter, about the private school Keisha could attend, about the safer neighborhood they could move to, about the life this money could buy. Then she thought about the 12 dead people, about their families, about justice. She put the money back in the closet. She would decide tomorrow, after she met with Mills, after she had time to think. But deep down, she knew the truth. There was no good choice here. Every option led to pain. Every path led to loss. September 18th, 2025, Wednesday morning. Brianna met Sergeant Mills at a diner on State Street. It was a public place, neutral ground. Mills was already there when she arrived, sitting in a booth in the back. "Coffee?" he asked. Brianna shook her head. "I can't stay long." Mills pulled out a tablet. He opened a folder with photos. "We've been tracking Cobra's movements," Mills said. "He's been more active since Sunday. More meetings, more pickups. Something big is happening." "Why are you telling me this?" Brianna asked. "Because he contacted you," Mills said. "We know he did. We're monitoring your phone activity, not reading messages, but we can see when your phone connects with certain numbers we're watching." Brianna's heart sank. They knew. "Has he reached out?" Mills asked directly. This was the moment. "Tell the truth or lie again. Be a snitch or be an accomplice." Brianna thought about Keisha, about Dorothy, about the $10,000 hidden in her closet, about the future she was trying to build. "No," she said. "He hasn't contacted me." Mills studied her face. He knew she was lying. She could see it in his eyes, but he couldn't prove it. Not yet. "You're making a mistake," Mills said. "We can protect you, but only if you cooperate." "I am cooperating," Brianna said. "I'm here, aren't I?" Mills closed the tablet. "If he does contact you and you don't tell us, that's conspiracy. You'll go down with him, remember that." Brianna stood up to leave. "One more thing," Mills said. "Cobra isn't acting alone. He has friends, people who watch out for him. If you're smart, you'll remember that they're watching you too." Brianna walked out of the diner. The morning sun hurt her eyes. Or maybe it was the tears she was holding back. She had chosen. She had picked a side without meaning to. And now, there was no going back. What she didn't know was that both sides had plans for her, and those plans were about to collide in ways she couldn't imagine. September 19th, 2025, Thursday. Brianna returned to work. She had no choice. The bills didn't stop because her life was falling apart. The store needed her. Mr. Patel needed her. And she needed the paycheck, even though $10,000 sat hidden in her closet. The morning shift was quiet. She rang up customers, stocked shelves, made small talk. She pretended everything was normal. At 11 a.m., the door opened. A woman walked in. She was young, maybe 25. She wore designer clothes, a Canada Goose jacket despite the warm September weather, gold chains, fresh Jordan sneakers. The woman walked directly to the counter. She put her phone down and looked at Brianna. "You're Brianna, right?" the woman asked. Brianna's guard went up immediately. "Who's asking?" "I'm Diamond," the woman said. "I'm with Cobra. He sent me to check on you." Brianna glanced toward the security cameras. Were the police watching this? Was Mills seeing this conversation happen right now? "I don't know what you're talking about," Brianna said. Diamond smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. "Don't play. Cobra told me everything. How you helped him, how the cops came after you, how you're caught in the middle now." "I need you to leave," Brianna said. "Relax," Diamond said. "I'm not here to threaten you. I'm here to help. Cobra wants to make sure you're protected. He sent me to explain how things work." Diamond leaned against the counter. She spoke quietly, casually, like they were old friends. "The police are going to keep pressuring you," Diamond said. "They'll offer you protection. They'll promise you witness relocation. They'll tell you that cooperating is your only option. But that's not true." "What do you mean?" Brianna asked, even though she knew she shouldn't engage. "We take care of our own," Diamond said. "And right now, whether you like it or not, you're part of this. Cobra doesn't forget people who help him. But he also doesn't forget people who betray him. There it was, the threat wrapped in kindness. "I didn't betray anyone," Brianna said. "I just didn't want someone to get hurt." "That's good," Diamond said. "Keep that energy. Don't talk to the cops. Don't tell them nothing. And you'll be fine, you and your daughter." Brianna's blood went cold. "Don't you mention my daughter." Diamond raised her hands. "I'm not threatening. I'm just saying we know about her. We know about your mother on the south side. We know where you live. That's not a threat. That's protection. We're watching out for you." Protection. The word made Brianna sick. This wasn't protection. This was surveillance. This was control. "The money in your car," Diamond continued. "That's just a start. There's more where that came from. Way more. You could set yourself up. Set your daughter up, college fund, new house, whatever you need." "I don't want drug money," Brianna said. "It's not drug money," Diamond laughed. "It's gratitude money. It's appreciation money. Take it, use it, live better." Diamond picked up her phone. She typed something quickly and showed Brianna the screen. It was a photo of Keisha from yesterday, playing in Dorothy's backyard. Brianna grabbed for the phone, but Diamond pulled it back. "Relax," Diamond said. "Nobody's going to hurt your little girl. We're not monsters, but you need to understand the situation. If you cooperate with the police, if you snitch, then everything changes. Not just for you, for everyone you love. Get out," Brianna said. Her voice shook with anger and fear. Diamond smiled again. "I'm going. Just remember what I said. Make smart choices for Keisha's sake." Diamond left. The bell above the door rang cheerfully, completely at odds with the darkness she had brought into the store. Brianna's legs gave out. She sat down hard on the stool behind the counter. Her breathing came in short gasps. They knew everything. Where Keisha lived, where Dorothy lived. They were following her daughter, taking pictures. She pulled out her phone and called her mother. "Dorothy, listen to me," Brianna said when her mother answered. "Don't let Keisha play outside today. Keep her inside. Lock all the doors." "What? Why? What's happening?" Dorothy asked. "Please, Mama, just do it. I'll explain later." Brianna hung up. Then she stared at Sergeant Mills's card on the counter. She should call him. Tell him about Diamond. Tell him about the threats. Tell him about the photo. But what would he do? Put a patrol car outside Dorothy's house? For how long? A day? A week? The gangster disciples had patience. They would wait, and eventually the police would leave. And then what? No. The police couldn't protect her family. Not really. Not long term. At noon, Mr. Patel came into the store for his daily check-in. He noticed Brianna's distress immediately. "Are you okay?" he asked. "You look sick." "I'm fine," Brianna lied. "Just tired." "The police came by yesterday," Patel said. "After you called in sick, they asked if you had any visitors. I told them no." "But Brianna, what's going on? Are you in some kind of trouble?" Brianna wanted to tell him, wanted to ask for help, but what could he do? He was just a store owner trying to run a business. "It's nothing," she said. "Just some misunderstanding with the cops. It'll blow over." Patel didn't look convinced, but he let it go. He had his own problems. The afternoon dragged by. Every customer who walked in could be another person from Cobra's crew. Every car that parked outside could be police surveillance. At 3 p.m., her phone buzzed. A text from Mills. "Saw your visitor this morning, Diamond Johnson. She's Cobra's girl. What did she want?" They were watching, the cameras. Mills had seen everything. Brianna didn't respond. What could she say? That Diamond had threatened her daughter. That would make her a witness. That would put a target on her back permanently. Another text from Mills. "Your silence is an answer. You're protecting him now. That makes you complicit." Then another text from the unknown number. "Cobra. Diamond said you did good. Keep it up. More money coming your way." Brianna put her phone away. She couldn't look at it anymore. She felt like she was drowning. Every breath was harder than the last. At 5 p.m., her shift ended. She walked to her car. That's when she noticed it. A piece of paper under her windshield wiper. She pulled it out and read it. "Final warning, cooperate or face charges. You have 48 hours. It was from Mills. He was done playing nice. Brianna got in her car and drove home. She didn't cry, she didn't scream, she just felt numb. 2 days, 48 hours. Then her life would explode one way or another. She had to make a choice, but every choice led to disaster. What she didn't know was that the choice was about to be made for her. Forces were already in motion. And by tomorrow, everything would change in ways she never could have imagined. September 20th, 2025. Friday morning. Brianna woke up to pounding on her door. Loud, aggressive. She jumped out of bed and grabbed her phone. 6:30 a.m. Police, open up! Her heart dropped. This was it. They were arresting her. She opened the door. Sergeant Mills stood there with 4 other officers. He held up a paper. "We have a warrant to search your apartment," Mills said. "Step aside." "A warrant for what?" Brianna asked. "Evidence of criminal activity, money laundering, conspiracy. Step aside now." Brianna had no choice. She moved back and let them in. The officers spread through her small apartment like locusts. They opened drawers, checked under furniture, went through her kitchen cabinets. One officer went straight to her bedroom, straight to her closet. He found the bag in less than 2 minutes. "Got something?" he called out. Mills walked into the bedroom. He pulled out the shopping bag and looked inside. $10,000 in cash. "Well," Mills said, looking at Brianna, "want to explain this?" "It's my savings," Brianna said weakly. "Your savings?" Mills shook his head. "You make minimum wage. This is more than half your annual salary. Try again." Brianna said nothing. There was nothing to say. They had her. "This is drug money," Mills said. "Payment from the Gangster disciples. We can prove it. Serial numbers trace back to a bust we made 6 months ago. Some of that money ended up back on the street. And now it's in your closet." "I didn't ask for it," Brianna said. "He left it in my car. I didn't know what to do." "You could have called us," Mills said. "But you didn't. You kept it. That makes you part of his operation." Mills nodded to the other officers. One of them pulled out handcuffs. "Brianna Washington, you're under arrest for conspiracy to distribute narcotics, money laundering, and obstruction of justice." The officer read her rights while putting on the cuffs. Brianna felt her world collapse. This was happening. She was going to jail. Keisha would grow up without her mother. "Please," Brianna said, "my daughter, she's only 7. She needs me." "Should have thought about that before you decided to help a gang member," Mills said. He wasn't cruel, just matter of fact, like he had seen this story 1,000 times before. They took her downtown, booked her. Fingerprints, mugshot, orange jumpsuit. Then they put her in a holding cell with 3 other women. Brianna sat on the metal bench and stared at the wall. Hours passed. She didn't know how many. Time felt meaningless. Finally, a guard called her name. "Washington, you made bail." Bail? Who posted bail? She didn't have money for bail. The 10,000 was seized. She had maybe 300 in her checking account. They processed her out, gave her back her clothes and belongings. In the lobby, Diamond was waiting. "Come on," Diamond said. "Let's go." At this point, before the shocking thing that happened next, let's connect. What city are you in? LA, Chicago, New York. Every city has its stories in 2024 and 2025. Subscribe now to see how this ends. Back to the moment everything changed. "I'm not going anywhere with you," Brianna said. "You want to stay in jail?" Diamond asked. "I just posted 20,000 for your bail." "That means you're coming with me. We need to talk." Brianna looked around. No other options. No one else was coming to help her. She followed Diamond out to a black SUV in the parking lot. Inside the SUV, Cobra sat in the back seat. He looked different in daylight, older, tired, but still dangerous. "Get in," he said. Brianna climbed into the back seat. Diamond got in front. The driver pulled away from the police station. "You're probably wondering why I bailed you out," Cobra said. "Yeah," Brianna said. "I am." "Because this is my fault," Cobra said. "I put that money in your car. I should have known the cops were watching you that close. I should have been smarter." "So what now?" Brianna asked. "You own me." Is that how this works? Cobra shook his head. I don't own nobody, but we got a problem now. The cops arrested you to flip you. They want you to testify against me, to wear a wire, to help them build a case. I'm not doing that, Brianna said. I know you're not, Cobra said, because you're smart. But the cops don't know that yet. They think they can break you. They think because you got a daughter, you'll do anything to stay out of prison. They're right, Brianna said. I will do anything for Keisha. Then listen to what I'm about to say, Cobra said. Your charges can go away. I got lawyers, good lawyers. They can make this disappear, but you got to trust me. Trust you? Brianna laughed bitterly. You're the reason I'm in this mess. You're in this mess because you helped me, Cobra said. That was your choice. I'm grateful for it. But now we both got to deal with the consequences. The SUV drove through South Side, past the blocks Brianna knew, past her neighborhood. They ended up at a house in Hyde Park. Nicer area, big houses, old money. They went inside. The house was expensive, marble floors, expensive furniture. Art on the walls. This wasn't a trap house, this was wealth. A man in a suit sat in the living room. He stood when they entered. Brianna, this is Mr. Chen, Cobra said. He's my lawyer, one of the best in Chicago. Mr. Chen shook her hand. Ms. Washington, I've reviewed your case. The charges are serious but manageable. The money they found can be explained away. Gift from a friend. Savings from a second job. The serial numbers are circumstantial evidence, not proof. But they said, Brianna started. They said a lot of things to scare you, Mr. Chen interrupted. That's what police do. But in court, they need proof beyond reasonable doubt. We can create that doubt. How much will this cost? Brianna asked. Already paid, Cobra said. Consider it handled. Why are you doing this? Brianna asked. What do you want from me? Cobra leaned forward. I want you to live your life. Take care of your daughter. Go to work. Be normal. But if the cops come at you again, you call Mr. Chen. You don't talk to them. You don't answer questions. You lawyer up immediately. That's it? Brianna asked. That's all you want? That's it, Cobra said. I'm not asking you to work for me. I'm not asking you to do anything illegal. I'm just asking you to not help them put me away. It wasn't really a request. It was a requirement, but it was framed nicely. What if I say no? Brianna asked. Then Mr. Chen won't represent you, Cobra said simply, and you'll face those charges alone. Public defender, overworked, underpaid. You'll probably lose. 3 to 5 years minimum. Keisha grows up without you. There it was, the real threat. Not violence, not death, just abandonment. Just letting the system crush her. So I don't have a choice, Brianna said. You always have a choice, Cobra said. But some choices are smarter than others. Brianna looked at Mr. Chen, at Diamond, at Cobra. They were all waiting for her answer. She thought about Keisha, about those 12 murders, about right and wrong, about survival. Okay, she said quietly. I'll do it your way. Cobra smiled. Smart girl. Mr. Chen will handle everything. You'll be fine. They drove her back to her apartment. Before she got out, Cobra handed her an iPhone, brand new, still in the box. Your old phone is compromised, he said. The cops are monitoring it. Use this one. My number's already programmed in. You need anything, you call. Brianna took the phone. She got out of the SUV and walked to her apartment. Inside, she sat on her couch and stared at the new iPhone. She had just made a deal with a gangster. She had chosen his protection over police cooperation. She had become exactly what Mills said she would become. An accomplice. But what choice did she have, really? The police couldn't protect her family. They could only prosecute her. Cobra could make the charges disappear, could keep her out of prison, could let her stay with Keisha. That night, Brianna called her mother from the new phone. Mama, I need you to keep Keisha for a while longer, Brianna said. What's going on? Dorothy asked. You sound different. Just work stuff, Brianna lied. I'm picking up extra shifts, need to save money. It's better if she stays with you. Dorothy agreed reluctantly. After they hung up, Brianna deleted the call log. She was learning, covering tracks, thinking like a criminal. The next morning, Saturday, Mr. Chen called her on the new phone. "Good news," he said. "I spoke with the prosecutor. They're willing to drop the conspiracy and money laundering charges if you plead to a misdemeanor, failure to report found property, fine and probation, no jail time." "Just like that?" Brianna asked. "They know their case is weak," Mr. Chen said. "Without your cooperation against Cobra, they have nothing. They're cutting their losses." "What about Sergeant Mills?" Brianna asked. "He's not happy," Mr. Chen said. "But he doesn't make the decisions. The prosecutor does. We have a deal." It was over. Almost. She would have a record now, but she would be free. She would keep her daughter. But the cost was her soul. And deep down, Brianna knew that price was too high. She just didn't know how to pay it back yet. September 22nd, 2025, Sunday. Brianna spent the weekend in a fog. She went to court on Monday morning. Mr. Chen was there. The prosecutor presented the deal. Brianna pleaded guilty to misdemeanor failure to report found property. The judge gave her a fine of $500 and 1 year probation. No jail time. Mills sat in the courtroom. He stared at her the entire time. His face showed nothing but disappointment. After the hearing, Mills caught her outside the courthouse. "You made a mistake," he said. "You think Cobra is your friend? You think he's protecting you? He's using you. And when he's done, you'll be disposable." "I did what I had to do," Brianna said, "for my daughter." "Your daughter is going to grow up knowing her mother helped to kill her," Mills said. "That's the legacy you're choosing." He walked away before Brianna could respond. She went home and tried to process everything. Her life had changed in 1 week. One decision had led to a cascade of consequences she never could have predicted. That evening, Cobra texted her on the new phone. "Heard it went well, proud of you. Come by tomorrow, got something for you." Brianna didn't want to go. She wanted to cut all ties. Pretend this never happened, but she knew that wasn't possible now. She was in Cobra's orbit, and orbits were hard to escape. September 23rd, 2025. Tuesday. Brianna drove to the Hyde Park house. Diamond let her in. Cobra was in the living room with 2 other men. They stopped talking when she entered. "Brianna," Cobra said warmly, "come sit." She sat down on the edge of the couch, uncomfortable. "Nervous. You did good in court," Cobra said. "You kept your mouth shut. You trusted the process. I respect that." He handed her an envelope. Brianna opened it. Inside was $20,000 in cash. "I can't take this," Brianna said. "You can and you will," Cobra said. "That's your lawyer fees. Consider it a thank you. Take care of your daughter. Pay off some debt. Live a little." "I don't want your money," Brianna said. "I just want to go back to my normal life." "This is your normal life now," Cobra said. "You're connected to me whether you like it or not. But that's not a bad thing. I take care of people who are loyal to me." One of the other men spoke up. He was older, maybe 45, grey in his beard, expensive watch. "I'm OG Smooth," the man said. "I run this crew with Cobra. We want you to understand something. You're not in danger. You're not a target. You're family now. That means something." "I'm not family," Brianna said. "I'm just someone who made a mistake." "You made a choice," OG Smooth corrected. "And that choice showed character. Most people would have folded, would have snitched. You stood tall. That's rare." The third man hadn't spoken yet. He was younger, maybe 25. He had hard eyes, killer eyes. "I'm Reaper," he said. "I'm security. Nobody touches you or yours. Not cops, not rivals. Nobody. That's a promise." Brianna felt sick. These men were talking about her like she was one of them, like she had joined a gang. But she hadn't. She had just tried to survive. "I appreciate the protection," Brianna said carefully, "but I need you to understand something too. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not helping you sell drugs. I'm not holding weapons. I'm not doing nothing." "We know," Cobra said, "and we're not asking you to. Your value to us isn't what you can do. It's what you already did. You showed loyalty. That's worth more than anything." Cobra stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at the street. "The cops are going to keep watching you," he said. "They think you're going to lead them to me. Let them watch. Live your life. Go to work. See your daughter. Be normal. That's the best way to make them lose interest." "How long do I have to do this?" Brianna asked. "Until they move on to someone else," Cobra said. "Could be weeks, could be months. But eventually, they'll get bored. They always do." Diamond walked Brianna to the door. Before she left, Diamond handed her a business card. "That's my number," Diamond said. "You need anything, you call me." Girl to girl. "I know this is scary, but you're going to be okay." "How do you do it?" Brianna asked. "How do you live in this world?" "You just do," Diamond said. "One day at a time. You'd be surprised what you can get used to." Brianna drove home with $20,000 in her purse. She hid it with the other money that Cobra had given her before. $30,000 total now. More money than she had ever had in her life. Blood money, but also freedom money. College money for Keisha. Down payment on a house money. A better life money. The next few days were quiet. Brianna went back to work. Mr. Patel asked no questions. The customers didn't know anything had happened. Life at Quick Stop went on like normal. But Brianna felt different. She saw the world differently now. She noticed the gang signs on the walls, the colors people wore, the territories, the invisible lines that divided the city. She was aware of the surveillance too. Sometimes she would see the same car parked near her apartment. Different cars, different drivers, but always watching. The police hadn't given up. On September 27th, Friday night, Brianna was closing the store when her phone rang. The new phone. It was Cobra. "Don't go home tonight," he said. "Stay somewhere else, your mum's house, a friend's place. Anywhere but your apartment." "Why?" Brianna asked. "What's happening?" "Can't explain now," Cobra said. "Just trust me, don't go home." He hung up before she could ask more questions. Brianna's hand shook as she locked up the store. What was happening? Was someone coming for her? Was it the police, a rival gang? She drove to her mother's house. Dorothy was surprised to see her. "Everything okay?" Dorothy asked. "Yeah," Brianna lied. "Just wanted to stay over, missed you and Keisha." That night, Brianna couldn't sleep. She kept checking her phone. No messages, no updates, just silence. At 3 a.m. she got a notification, a news alert. "Breaking, major police raid in Englewood. Multiple arrests, gunfire reported." She clicked the link. The raid was happening on her street. Police had surrounded her apartment building. They were looking for someone. The article didn't say who. At 6 a.m., Cobra texted her, "Coast is clear. They didn't find what they were looking for. You're safe." Brianna realized what had happened. The police had gotten a warrant to raid her apartment. They thought Cobra would be there, or that they would find evidence connecting her to his operation. But because Cobra warned her to stay away, she wasn't there when it happened. She avoided another confrontation, another arrest. He had protected her, again, and that protection was tightening around her like a noose. Because now she owed him even more, and debts to gangsters never got paid off. They only got bigger. September 28th, 2025, Saturday morning, Brianna returned to her apartment. The door had been kicked in, the lock was broken, inside was chaos. Furniture flipped, drawers emptied, clothes everywhere. The police had torn her home apart. A notice was taped to her wall, search warrant, looking for evidence of conspiracy, looking for Cobra. They had found nothing because there was nothing to find. But her home was destroyed. Brianna sat on her torn couch and cried. This was her life now, caught between two forces, the police who wanted to use her, the gangsters who wanted to protect her, and she had no control over any of it. Her phone rang. It was Mr. Chen. "Ms. Washington, I heard about the raid," he said. "This is harassment. They had no probable cause. I'm filing a complaint with the department." "What good will that do?" Brianna asked. "It puts pressure on them," Mr. Chen said. "It shows they're targeting you without cause. It builds a case for us if they try anything else." After the call, Diamond showed up at her door. She looked at the mess and shook her head. "Damn," Diamond said. "They really did a number on this place." "I can't live like this," Brianna said. "I can't keep doing this." "Then don't," Diamond said. "Move, get a new place, use that money Cobra gave you. Start fresh somewhere they're not watching." "They'll just follow me," Brianna said. "Maybe," Diamond said, "but at least you'll have a place without broken doors and bad memories." Diamond helped her clean up. They worked for hours. By afternoon, the apartment looked almost normal again, but it didn't feel like home anymore. It felt violated. That evening, Brianna's mother called. "I saw the news," Dorothy said. "They said police raided an apartment building in your area. Was that yours?" Brianna couldn't lie anymore. "Yeah, Mama, it was mine." "What is going on?" Dorothy demanded. "And don't tell me it's nothing. Police don't raid apartments for nothing. I helped someone I shouldn't have," Brianna said, "and now I'm paying for it." "Who?" Dorothy asked. "I can't tell you," Brianna said, "but I need you to keep Keisha there. Don't bring her back to my place. It's not safe right now." "Brianna, you're scaring me," Dorothy said. "I'm scared too, Mama," Brianna admitted. "But I'm handling it, I promise." After she hung up, Brianna made a decision. She couldn't keep living in fear. She couldn't keep being a pawn in someone else's game. She needed to take control. She called Cobra. "We need to talk," she said, face to face. They met at a diner on the north side, neutral territory. Cobra came alone. He slid into the booth across from her. "What's on your mind?" he asked. "I want out," Brianna said, "out of this whole situation. I don't want your protection. I don't want your money. I just want my life back." Cobra leaned back and studied her. "You think it's that simple?" "It should be," Brianna said. "I helped you once, one time. That shouldn't tie me to you forever." "It doesn't," Cobra said. "But the cops tied you to me, not me. I would have left you alone. But they arrested you. They made you choose sides, and you chose." "I chose survival," Brianna said. "That's different." "Is it?" Cobra asked. "Look, I get it. You don't want this life. I respect that. But you can't just walk away from what happened. The police think you're connected to me now. That won't change just because you want it to." "So what do I do?" Brianna asked. "Just accept this?" "You adapt," Cobra said. "You take the money I gave you and you build something better. You move to a nicer neighborhood. You put your daughter in a good school. You use what happened to improve your life." "With blood money," Brianna said. "With opportunity money," Cobra corrected. "Yeah, I made it selling drugs, but money is money. It doesn't care where it came from. It just cares what you do with it." Brianna wanted to argue, wanted to throw the money back in his face, but she knew he was right. The money could change Keisha's life, could give her daughter chances Brianna never had. "If I take the money and move," Brianna said, "will you leave me alone? No more texts, no more visits, no more favors." Cobra thought about it. "I can't promise that, because I don't know what the future holds. But I can promise that I won't ask you to do anything illegal, and I'll keep protecting you and your family. That doesn't stop." "I don't want protection that I didn't ask for," Brianna said. "Too bad," Cobra said, "because you got it anyway. That's how this works. You helped me, now I help you. You don't get to refuse." He stood up to leave. Before he walked away, he turned back. "You think I'm a monster," Cobra said. "I get it. 12 bodies. That's what the cops told you, right? 12 murders." Brianna nodded. "They're not wrong," Cobra said. "I've done things, bad things, things I can't take back. But you know what? Every one of those 12 people was trying to kill me first. Self-defense, survival. Just like you choosing to keep quiet was survival for you." "That's not the same," Brianna said. "Isn't it?" Cobra asked. "We're all just trying to stay alive in a world that wants us dead. You do what you got to do. I respect that you don't want to be like me, but don't judge me for being what this world made me." He walked out of the diner. Brianna sat there for a long time thinking about his words. Over the next few days, Brianna started looking for new apartments, places far from Inglewood, far from Southside. She found a 2-bedroom in Rogers Park, nice area, good schools nearby, $2,200 a month. Expensive, but she could afford it now. She gave notice to Mr. Patel. He was disappointed but understood. "This neighborhood is hard," he said. "I don't blame you for leaving." Her last day at Quick Stop was October 3rd. She trained her replacement, a young woman named Tiara, fresh out of high school, looking for work. "Any advice?" Tiara asked. Brianna thought about everything she had been through. "Keep your head down," she said. "Don't get involved in things that aren't your business. And if someone asks you for help, really think about the cost before you say yes." Tiara looked confused. "That's weird advice." "You'll understand eventually," Brianna said. On October 5th, Brianna moved into her new apartment. It was clean, safe, far from the chaos. She enrolled Keisha in a new school, better teachers, better resources, a better future. Dorothy helped her unpack. "This place is nice," her mother said. "How can you afford it?" "I saved up," Brianna lied, "and I got a new job, better pay." Dorothy didn't believe her, but she didn't push. Some questions were better left unasked. That night, Brianna tucked Keisha into her new bedroom. The little girl was excited. New room, new school, new start. "Mama, are we going to stay here forever?" Keisha asked. "I hope so, baby," Brianna said. "I really hope so." But she knew the truth. The past didn't stay in the past. Debts didn't disappear, and choices once made echoed forever. October 8th, 2025. Wednesday, 3 weeks after the raid. Brianna settled into her new life in Rogers Park. She found a job at a small boutique on Clark Street. The owner was an older woman named Mrs. Patterson. She paid $15 an hour, more than Quick Stop, better hours too. Keisha loved her new school. She made friends quickly. Her grades improved. She smiled more. That was worth everything to Brianna. The police stopped following her. Or maybe they were just better at hiding. Either way, Brianna felt like she could breathe again. Cobra kept his word. He didn't contact her. No texts. No visits. Just silence. The protection was still there, invisible but present. Brianna knew that. But at least it wasn't suffocating anymore. One afternoon, Mrs. Patterson asked Brianna about her past. "You don't talk much about where you came from," Mrs. Patterson said. "South Side." "Yeah," Brianna said. "Inglewood." "That's rough," Mrs. Patterson said. "What made you leave?" "Needed a change," Brianna said. "For my daughter. Wanted her to have better opportunities." "That's good parenting," Mrs. Patterson said. "Not everyone has the courage to start over." Brianna thought about that word. Courage. Was that what she had? Or was it just survival instinct? She wasn't sure there was a difference anymore. On October 12th, Brianna saw news that made her stop. A massive federal indictment. 37 members of the Gangster disciples arrested. RICO charges, conspiracy, murder, drug trafficking. Cobra's name was on the list. Brianna's hands shook as she read the article. They had finally gotten him. Everything he had built came crashing down. The protection he had promised was gone. Her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She almost didn't answer. "Hello, Ms. Washington, this is Sergeant Mills." Brianna's stomach dropped. "What do you want?" "Just wanted to let you know we got him," Mills said. "Cobra is in federal custody, along with most of his crew, including Diamond Johnson and the man called Reaper." "Okay," Brianna said carefully. "You're free now," Mills said. "No more protection, no more threats. You can live your life." "I'm already living my life," Brianna said. "I know you moved," Mills said. "Rogers Park, nice area, good schools. That money you use for the deposit and first month's rent, where did it come from?" Brianna's heart raced. "My savings." "Right," Mills said. He didn't believe her. "Well, just so you know, we'll be investigating Cobra's financial dealings. Anyone who received money from him might be looked at, might be asked questions." "I didn't do anything illegal," Brianna said. "Then you have nothing to worry about," Mills said. "Have a good day, Ms. Washington." He hung up. Brianna sat down hard on her couch. It wasn't over. It would never be over. That evening, she got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single piece of paper with a message written in neat handwriting. "Thank you for your loyalty. Don't worry about the money, it's clean. Lawyers made sure of it. Live well. Take care of your daughter. You earned this. See, Cobra had thought of everything. Even from jail, he was protecting her. The money couldn't be traced, couldn't be seized. It was hers. Brianna burned the letter in her kitchen sink. She watched it turn to ash. Another secret to carry, another weight on her soul. Over the next few weeks, federal prosecutors built their case against Cobra and his crew. Brianna watched the news religiously. They had witnesses, evidence, phone records, bank statements. They were going to put him away for life. Part of her felt relief. He was gone. The threat was neutralized. She could truly move on. But another part of her felt guilt. Cobra had protected her, had given her money that changed her life. And now he was in a cage. On November 1st, Mr. Chen called her. "Ms. Washington, I wanted to reach out," he said. "Marcus Coleman's case is going to trial. There's a possibility the prosecution might try to call you as a witness." "For what?" Brianna asked. "I don't know anything about his operation." "They might ask about the money," Mr. Chen said, "about the day you hid him from police, about any communications you had with him." "And if they call me?" Brianna asked. "You tell the truth," Mr. Chen said, "but remember you have rights, Fifth Amendment. You don't have to answer questions that might incriminate you." "Will I go to jail?" Brianna asked. "Not if you're smart," Mr. Chen said. "Your deal is done. As long as you don't lie under oath, you should be fine." But Brianna knew better. There was no fine. There was no safe. There was only survival, one day at a time. On November 10th, Brianna got a visitor at the boutique, a young man she didn't recognize. He bought a scarf and left an envelope on the counter. Inside the envelope was a letter from Cobra, written from jail. "Brianna, I know you're worried. Don't be. My lawyers are good. I'll probably beat most of these charges. But even if I don't, you're protected. I made arrangements. If anyone comes after you or your family, my people will handle it. You gave me a gift when you helped me that day. You saw me as human when everyone else saw a monster. I won't forget that. Keep being a good mom. Keep building a better life. That's all I ever wanted for people like us. Marcus." Brianna folded the letter and put it in her purse. She would burn it later like the other one, but for now she kept it. That night she sat with Keisha while her daughter did homework. Math problems, reading assignments, normal kid stuff. Beautiful in its simplicity. "Mama, are you happy here?" Keisha asked suddenly. "Yeah, baby," Brianna said. "I am. Are you?" "Yeah," Keisha said. "I like my new school. I like our apartment. I like that you smile more now." Brianna hugged her daughter tight. This was why she had done it. All of it, the lies, the fear, the compromise, for this moment right here. On November 15th, Cobra's trial began. Brianna watched the news coverage, saw him in his orange jumpsuit, saw the federal prosecutors lay out their case, saw the witnesses testify against him. She was never called to the stand. Her name never came up. It was like she had never existed in his story. Maybe that was for the best. The trial lasted 6 weeks. On December 20th, 2025, the jury came back with a verdict. Guilty on most counts, not guilty on the murders, insufficient evidence, but guilty of racketeering, guilty of conspiracy, guilty of running a criminal enterprise. The judge sentenced him to 25 years in federal prison. Cobra would be 60 years old when he got out, if he survived that long. Prison was hard on gang members, rival crews, violence, time. Brianna watched the sentencing on TV. Cobra showed no emotion, just stood there while the judge read the sentence. Then they led him away. Diamond got 15 years, Reaper got 18, OG Smooth got 30. The crew was broken. The Gangster disciples would rebuild under new leadership. They always did. But this generation was done. That Christmas, Brianna took Keisha to see Dorothy. They had dinner, opened presents, watched movies. It was normal, peaceful, everything Brianna had fought for. On Christmas night, after Keisha was asleep, Dorothy asked the question she had been holding for months. What really happened? Dorothy asked. With the police, with everything. Brianna thought about lying, but she was tired of lies. I helped someone I shouldn't have, Brianna said, and it changed everything. But it also saved us, gave us this life, this chance. Was it worth it? Dorothy asked. Brianna looked at Keisha sleeping on the couch, peaceful, safe, happy. Yeah, Brianna said. It was worth it. January 2026, 3 months after it all began. Brianna woke up in her Rogers Park apartment, made breakfast, got Keisha ready for school, went to work at the boutique. Life was normal, quiet, safe. The past still haunted her sometimes. She thought about that day in September, about Cobra's eyes, about her choice. She had saved a gangster from the cops. And in return, he had saved her from poverty, from South Side, from a life without options. It wasn't clean. It wasn't simple. It wasn't what anyone would call right. But it was survival. And survival, Brianna had learned, was its own kind of morality. She would carry the weight of her choices forever. The money in her bank account, the apartment she lived in, the school Keisha attended. All of it was built on a moment of compassion for a criminal. But Keisha would never know. She would grow up thinking her mother worked hard and saved money. She would never know about Cobra, about the police, about the impossible choice made in a convenience store on a Sunday afternoon. And maybe that was okay. Maybe protecting your child from the truth was just another form of love. Brianna stood at the window of her boutique and watched people walk by on Clark Street. Different faces, different stories, everyone carrying their own secrets, their own compromises, their own survival. She was one of millions, just trying to live, just trying to be better, just trying to give her daughter a chance. That was enough. It had to be. Because in the end, we're all just people making impossible choices in an impossible world. And sometimes being human means doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. Brianna Washington learned that lesson on September 15th, 2025, and she would carry it for the rest of her life.